Hi guys, Jamie from Boxing Life, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the highly rated Twin Special Muay Thai boxing glove and just give you my thoughts, pros and cons, and just give you a bit of a closer look at so you can see the finer detail of the glove. So let's get right into it. First thing just to make a note of is that Twin Special are probably one of the biggest Muay Thai equipment boxing companies, alongside with Fairtex, and obviously one of their most famous parts is this their Twin Special logo, which lots of people identify with. And then just a thing to make note, as they are traditionally a Muay Thai brand, you know, a lot of their equipment is more focused on that, although like this glove can be used for just general boxing, kickboxing or whatnot. They still try and keep up the traditions of Muay Thai, which is quite a nice touch to the brand themselves. Now there is a bit of a difference between Muay Thai and boxing gloves. With Muay Thai gloves there's a bit more of a rounded top and the padding is a bit more distributed evenly, just because it has to, you know, parry kicks as well as punches. And then just the other thing is that the wrist is a little bit more flexible, and the reason for that is just for clenching, which you're allowed to do a lot more of in Muay Thai and kickboxing. And then the other thing is like the thumb attachment is usually a bit more flexible. You can move it, like I said, for clenching. Whereas with like more traditional boxing gloves, it's the front, it's got more padding around the front where you're actually striking. Which kind of makes sense as a boxing glove. But overall they are very similar in appearance, and I wouldn't let that put you off if you are just going to be doing boxing training. If you're just doing boxing training alone, this is a fantastic all-round glove, and it's definitely one of my favorites. And the main reason for that is just it's an all-round brilliant glove, lots of flexibility with it, and yeah, that's, you know, it's a really good option to go with. So this model I'm reviewing today is in fact the BGVLA 2 Airflow. There's the BGVLA 3, which is the one which doesn't have this mesh panel, as you can see here. Both those gloves are very similar, like that is really the only difference. And yeah, I think they've done a very good job with this, and if you want a bit more ventilation getting into the glove, this is definitely a good option to go with instead. The padding and all that is still pretty much the same, it's just that it's stitched up with this mesh panel at the top. I'm not really a big fan of mesh panels, but in the case of this glove I think it actually works okay. They've done a good job with it, but I would recommend you try and look after it, or you know, it could start to deteriorate over a bit of time, so make sure you look after them if you plan on getting these. So on that note, let's just have a bit of a closer look at the finer detail of the glove, just to kind of give you a better idea of what it's like. So guys, here's just a bit of a closer look at the gloves now. As you can see, the branding, Twin Special, that's printed on. And it's kind of got the stitching twins here, which is quite good. I got these obviously 14 ounce, and as you can see, handmade in Thailand, genuine leather, and it does feel really good. The quality's amazing on it, really like it. And that's just the padding. It's definitely a nice firm foam padding, which feels good when you're hitting on the heavy bag, double end bag or sparring. It's just, yeah, it's a really nice feel to it. And the airflow, obviously it's got this mesh panel within here, and that's just to help the ventilation, along with the thumb area with these ventilation holes. And here is just the attachment between the main strike area and the glove. It is quite flexible. You can move it around a bit. I know it doesn't really look like it here, but it is good, you know, if you're doing Muay Thai or kickboxing, you can definitely clench. And as you can see, just the overall stitching is just they've just done a really good job with it. You can tell it's been handmade. And then they've also got this additional padding right here, and that's just to help with parrying like kicks and stuff like that, just an extra padding. So yeah, definitely protects your hands. And I'll just bring over this one now, and as you can see, it's a nice big Velcro strap, and it goes all the way around, and it's hard to do this with one hand, but yeah, it goes all the way around. It's just, I really am a big fan of these types of Velcro straps. It just covers the whole glove, and it just feels really nice and secure. And as you can see, it's kind of like a nylon, water kind of resistant material on the inside. I'll show you a bit of a closer look. And you can even got genuine leather made in Thailand. Yeah, and it just, yeah, it feels very comfortable within there. And even the stitching just here, yeah. So overall, really good job by Twins. The other great thing, you know, it's obviously handcrafted, and that's a big bonus for me. You know, it just feels really nice. They've just done a really good job with the build. So yeah, that's a bit of a closer look up for you. So now that I've given you a bit of a closer look and gone over some of the finer detail of the glove, let's just finish up with some pros and cons. And I'll start off with the cons instead of the pros this time. And first off, might be out some people's budgets. It usually comes between, in the UK it's like £70 to £100 depending where you buy, and then in the US it's around the kind of, it's $80 to $100. So it is a bit of an investment to make, but it's definitely worthwhile if you're planning on getting this. And the other thing as well, I think it probably better suited for people that are practicing Muay Thai and kickboxing rather than just boxing. So if you're diversifying your workouts or your mixed martial arts, you know, this is probably a better glove. But if you're just doing pure boxing, you know, maybe long term this isn't the best glove you should get. You should maybe consider another one. Now the other thing as well is just the wrist strap, and it is a lot looser, and that's just because, like I said at the start of this video, it's a Muay Thai glove. You can see the kind of gap within there. I always feel like I can almost get my hand out already, and yeah, it's just a lot looser. So that's just something to keep in mind as a boxer. But obviously if you are going to use that, make sure you're putting on hand wrap before using. Now going on to the pros, there's a lot of good things with the Twin Special glove. I think first and foremost, it's very snug, comfortable, and it just feels very protected. And when you're punching the heavy bag or using equipment, it just feels really good using it. And the other good thing is that there's lots of design options that you can consider. I got mine in the black and yellow, just quite classic. I just thought the yellow just added a little bit of something to it, and obviously has the branding here, which is quite cool. The other thing as well, with specifically with this glove, is the mesh panel and then the air holes. As you can see, airflow, and that, as I mentioned below, that's just to help improve the ventilation. That's the main part of this glove, which is quite good. Personally, I don't really think the mesh panels make too much of a difference. However, you know, it's worth just looking after them as good as possible anyway. There's lots of different ways you can clean your gloves, so you can check that in the description below. And then, you know, just make sure that you're looking after them. I think that's a really important thing. The other thing as well is real genuine leather, handmade in Thailand, which is fantastic. You know, that it just gives it a much nicer feel to the glove, and knowing that it's been handmade in Thailand as well, you know, which is from a famous Muay Thai brand, it just makes it feel a little bit more special when you're using it. Another pro is that it can be used for boxing and not just kickboxing and Muay Thai. You know, it is kind of a hybrid glove, and that's the really good thing about it. You know, you don't just need to use it for one mixed martial art, you can use it for just boxing as well. And finally, it's just been handcrafted really well. You can see as I showed you in the close-up, the stitching's just been fantastically done, especially around this mesh panel, which, you know, I'm always a bit cautious when I see these, because I feel if you don't look after them, it will start to tear or deteriorate quite quickly. However, they've done a really good job with the stitching and just all around the glove in general, you know, and the inside as well feels great. With the vinyl, yeah, it's a really good finish they've done with it. Overall, guys, I think really good glove. Highly recommend you consider it. Obviously, there's always the debate between Twins or Fairtex, and personally, I've always preferred the Twin Special gloves. But that's just a preference. I'll maybe do a comparison review in the future. But yeah, I just love the feel of the Twins. It's just a lot more compact and snug on your hand when you're training, and that's exactly what you want with your glove. You want to be feeling comfortable when you're punching the equipment or sparring or whatnot, and this is what Twin Special provides you. So guys, I'll leave a link to this in the description below. You can check out, and you can buy it on Amazon or whatnot. And yeah, thanks so much for watching as always. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe. Really appreciate the support. If there's a bit of equipment you want me to cover, comment below, or if there's another glove you want me to cover, I'll maybe think about buying it and can do another review. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.